Brian, can you tell us who you are?
My name's Brian Allen and I'm the founding director of Teachers Across Borders. I'm here because I've committed myself to doing some work to share the skills that we have as teachers with people who are with a country that is struggling to some extent with its teacher training programs.
Can you sum up your experience with TAB so far in just 3 words?
Humbling, exciting, encouraging.
If you could just offer one piece of advice to a new presenter, a new volunteer, what would that one piece of advice be?
One piece of advice I would offer people would be about being culturally aware.
Have you got your favourite story from a TAB workshop or program that you would like to share?
We had a young director of a school who was posted to Sisyphon, which is about an hour and a half here from Battambang, and he travelled to the workshop program. His family lived in Battambang, but he was separated from them by his job, and he came for 2 years, and we were really encouraged that he was wanting to do that and to take back the learnings back to his school.
Can you tell us a little bit about how TAB Australia started?
TAB itself began in the US, and they were working in Myanmar and had to get out because of political reasons, safety for the Americans. And I met a woman called Heidi Roop in Phnom Penh in 2006, and she challenged me because I'd retired, and she wanted to open up the program in Cambodia, and she invited me to start a workshop, and particularly in Battambang, where I had no idea where it was. And I went back to Australia and discussed that with my wife Margaret. We held a meeting in Melbourne. We had 30 people come, and then we started the program. And from that, the organisation developed a structure, because that was the first group that went, but we developed a formal structure. We became an incorporated body under government law. We applied for tax deductibility by being accredited through AusAid. That took us 2 years to do that because we had to have runs on the board. Once we'd done that, the organisation grew and the programs grew to include Kampong Thom and Kampong Cham. And over the 14 years that it's been running, those programs have been growing, except for Kampong Cham, which has been an on and off program.
How much impact do you think TAB has had in Cambodia?
In Cambodia, I don't know, but in the provinces in which we work, we're aware that because we do reviews every couple of years, as an organisation, we were sending people over in March to do a review, and we knew that about 70% of what we were doing was a take-up, and we considered that pretty good, given the resourcing, the funding, the models that operated here. We were excited by that result because we had no idea for a few years, but that result allowed us to say, yes, well, we're actually making a difference.
What do you hope for the future of TAB?
Oh, what do I hope for the future? I'm not sure, because I think it needs to go in a new direction. We came here with a clear understanding that it was teachers teaching teachers, and we also had a clear understanding that our aim was to produce a body of teachers with some capacity to continue the work that was going on, hence the Train the Trainer program. Where we go in the future, I don't know. We were committed to 10 years, we're now at 14, that's 3 project agreements. I think a new agreement would see the organisation in a totally different form. There was, I don't believe we had a vision for the future, because our vision was to run out at the end of this current agreement. If people take this on further, then it will change. People change, the age range changes, all those sort of things.
Why should people volunteer for Teachers Across Borders?
We've all got skills and abilities and talents as people. We're all different. But as teachers, we're immensely talented and gifted people. We've been trained to do a whole range of things. And there is no reason we shouldn't share that with countries, people that don't have the capacity to train that within their system. This country's changed enormously. The training is changing, so the input that we give will change, but I still think Western teachers still have a range of practices and programs that they can share with their Cambodian colleagues to improve their teaching outcomes, given the scarcity of resources, given the scarcity of funds, given the size of classes, given the cultural differences. There's all those things that work in against what we do in the West, but there's no reason not to share that. Besides, it's feel good. The other side to it is that it will change your life to go back to your own classrooms. We get concerned in Australia in particular about the little things. I don't have the right texture, I haven't got enough chalk, or the paper's not right. And you come to this country and they don't have any of that, and you've still got to teach 60 kids in a classroom. So it gives you a different perspective on your own work back home.
Culture, Australian culture and Cambodian culture, is there something in common, something similar?
Yeah, in terms of culture in the two countries, I don't think there's a lot of similarity. I think it's about the teaching. And teaching is teaching. Children are children, but culturally there are huge differences, and we have to take that into account when we're presenting. And I've the opinion the more I know about Cambodia, the more I know I don't know. And every time I come, I learn something different, and I wished I'd known that when we first started. My name's Brian Allen, and I'm the founding director of Teachers Across Borders.
See growth in them or leadership qualities?
Yeah,
as teachers?
I can tell you two stories of teachers. In terms of the impact on teachers that have come on the programs, they have a renewed interest generally in their own profession going back. They've got a deeper understanding of what it is to be a teacher by coming here and realising there's not that much here for teachers to work with, yet they're inspired by the teachers who are here. I have one story. We had a young man who came on our first program, and he was totally burnt out by the Australian system back in 2007. He was a writer for The Age newspaper. He was an amazing teacher, but he was totally re-energised by coming here and seeing what was offered and how it was offered and what he had come from and what he needed to do when he went back to Australia. And his experience was just amazing. And he actually wrote a really good piece in The Age about his experiences of working in a developing country.